With small prayer. Om Agyante Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So I welcome both of you, all three of you, for today's session. I just wish to first hear some reflections based on our previous session so that we uh, have some background, and we are fresh in our mind about the previous class concepts so that we can further build on that. Yes, any point you remember?
Not really. Sorry.
No problem.
I think I missed the question. What
My
was the
question?
question?
No,
Yes.
I'm asking from last session, do you remember any point you wish to reflect so that we just are fresh with the concept what we
I
discussed
remember
last?
the body being the vehicle for the soul.
Very good.
Mhm.
Very good. Did it help you somewhere last week after hearing this concept that body is the vehicle for the soul?
Yes, it did help me because my body used to be like a Ferrari, and now it's like an old beaten down Volkswagen that won't start.
Very good realization. But we hope that you improve in your vehicle and
Thank
you
you.
and you
Thank you.
and you use the vehicle in God's service more. Nice. Okay, that's good. Good reflection. Any other point?
No, I'm good. I think that's it.
So now I think this point might have triggered uh, your memory, Nancy, if you want to share something.
No, I guess it's not a concept I haven't heard before. So I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
What to say? It's interesting to hear it repeated again.
Okay. Okay, let's continue our session. So I'm just sharing the screen with all of both of you. Swapnil Prabhu, is it visible?
Yes, visible.
So yeah. Okay. So just to a bit revise, we discussed this last session, all these concepts, as Amy told that how the body is like the vehicle for the soul. Driver and car analogy, we had discussed this. And we also discussed the real knowledges when we have understanding of matter, soul, and controller of both, who is God. But modern education system, it usually focuses only on matter, but not the soul and God. So, but real knowledge, as per Bhagavad Gita, is the knowledge which studies matter, soul, and God, and the interrelationships, how they're related to each other. So we had these subtopics: am I matter, am I spirit, six changes of the living body. We discussed this too, I believe. Yeah, you'll remember. As I just show you the slides. We discussed who are you? Are we just blend of chemicals of rupees 110 or $5? Don't you feel We are more than the chemicals which constitute this body. We discussed that. So we discussed the difference between somebody living and somebody who has left this body. So the dead body and the living body, we discussed that how chemicals are the same, but after death there are no feelings, no thinking, no desires, no moment, no consciousness. Body is there, but soul is gone. And we discussed how for the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. That means we never die. It's a good news. We never die. That is simply change of body. And we discussed that how body and soul are different. Body is matter, soul is spirit, not body, not conscious, soul conscious, body changes, soul doesn't change. Body is temporary, soul is eternal. Body is dead and soul is alive. So material viewpoint, we are bodies made up of matter. We are no more than a chemical bundle. Everything's finished at the time of death. And spiritual viewpoint is that we are not this body made up of flesh and bones, but actually we are spirit soul encased in the material body. We do not die when material body stops to function. We also discussed the difference between a living body and a dead body. Yeah, so here just like a person in the car sitting, like the driver, when he has to interact with the outside world, so he may blow the horn, then he may put on the headlight, he may drive the, I mean, he may put the accelerator and the car may move with the help of wheels. Same way we also, as soul, we are sitting in this vehicle of the body and we are also interacting with the outside world by speaking through our mouth, by seeing through our eyes, by moving through our legs, just like the driver sitting in the car is interacting with the outside world like that. The car cannot budge 1 inch without the driver. The body is struck dead without the presence of driver, the soul. And we discussed that how when we don't take care of the soul and we only are pampering the body, then we are losing the valuable human form, because human form of life is meant for recognizing the real self, the soul, and fulfilling the needs of the soul, to help the soul to get reunited with the Lord and have the revival of the loving relationship of love with the Lord, with God. So that's what we had discussed. So yeah, if we forget soul and we only pamper the body, then we always find ourselves in miserable situations of life. You always find that. Like the parrot is not cared, only cage is being polished by this lady, then the parrot actually becomes weak and eventually may die. Same way, when we only take care, when we only pamper our body, trying to get the best of the food, best of the luxury, best of the comforts of life, but when we don't do anything for elevating our soul, for removing the ignorance, for nourishing the soul, then we find ourselves miserable. And I think some of you have reflected on it also, that how people in United States are also feeling loneliness. Sometimes they are very depressed, even though they have a lot of money, they have sources, they have power, they have influence, but sometimes they don't have peace of mind. They're not happy with it because they have been neglecting their soul, the needs of the soul. That's what we discussed. 6 changes of living body. We discussed this also, that any living body and a robo, both are different. So living body undergoes the 6 changes: birth, growth, maintenance, production of byproducts, dwindling, and death. But robo doesn't have that. It may be created and then it dwindles. It doesn't have these 6 stages. So we have discussed this. Yeah. So I think now we'll move further. I think we had come to this slide, and I told that we'll be discussing from this slide onward. So this is our existence. So the body which we see, like when I'm seeing all of you, I'm actually looking, I'm able to see only a body, the external body, the vehicle, the dress. So then this body is actually made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. It's called gross body, which we see, right? We can see. When we see any person in general, then we see the gross body, which is made up of this Pancha Mahabhuta. In Sanskrit, it is called Pancha Mahabhuta: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Panch means 5, Mahabhuta signifies the elements. So, subtle body. Now, subtle body you cannot see. Like, can you see, Nancy, can you see Ami's mind right now?
No, do we have slides to go with this part? It seems like it's just the same slide.
I'm sorry, pardon?
Do we have the same slide? I mean, do we have different slides to go with what you're saying? Because
No, same slide, same slide.
oh, okay.
But can you see Ami's mind? Nancy, can you see her mind?
No.
Okay. Can you see, Ami, can you see Swapnil's mind?
Well, I have to say I can't see his mind, but I can get an idea of it from his facial expressions.
Yeah, true, true. And even sometimes somebody may be, very angry, and he may be actually shouting on someone, and he may be beating somebody. Then you know that his mind is actually influenced with so much of anger. So point is that you cannot see mind, but you can witness the symptoms which sometimes gross body exhibits. They say face is the index of mind, but you cannot see the mind. That is for
Yeah.
sure. Good. Thank you for the reflection. Yeah. So mind you cannot see, but so you cannot see the intelligence. You can see somebody, uh, you know, working very intelligently. So you know that he has a lot of intelligence, but you cannot see intelligence. Same way you cannot see the false ego. It cannot be seen the way we can see the gross body, any gross object. Like I can see my body, but I cannot see mind. I cannot see intelligence. I cannot see false ego. We can perceive, but we cannot see with our eyes. Okay, so it's called subtle. That's why it's called subtle body. No, it's made up of subtle matter, subtle body, which you cannot see, but still it is material. Now there is something called spiritual. So this is beyond the gross and subtle body. So soul is actually is a spiritual substance made up of spiritual elements. So what are these spiritual substances? Eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Eternity. That means the soul. There's any spiritual particle soul is actually eternal. It cannot be destroyed. So Bhagavad Gita spends a lot of time in explaining the soul as immortal, cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be made wet by water. It's completely unaffected because it is beyond material realm. It's not, it is beyond matter. So that's why eternal. And then knowledge. Knowledge also means that the soul has innate knowledge about the Lord and his existence, his eternal function, everything. But right now, though we are souls, but our knowledge is covered. Our knowledge is covered. So it is there in a dormant state with the soul, all the knowledge. But right now it's covered. Just like you find a wood, a fuel, there's a dormant fire within, but you cannot perceive the fire. But if somebody, lights a fire by, putting some kind of matchstick or something, then you can see the fire within the wood, it comes out. You can see that. The same way, the soul has innate knowledge, and but it's covered over, it's in dormant state. But when we practice spiritual life, then we can, regain or revive that original knowledge, which is there in the dormant state. Bliss, same thing with the bliss also, ananda. So it's a happiness. That is also same way. It's covered. But as the soul is nourished and as we practice spiritual life, then we can uncover and find the real bliss. No, we can experience the real bliss of the soul, which is right now in the dormant state. So it's very important, slide which helps us to understand our existences at different level. Like gross body is something which is our outer dress for the soul. Subtle body is like after gross body. Next to that inside is subtle body. But we are not gross body and subtle body either, right? We are actually soul, but we are covered. That's why it is called we are encased. We are encased in this gross and subtle body. So and we are separate from gross and subtle body. So it's such an amazing information that we are separate from our mind. We are separate from our body. That means you may have defects on your body. You may have certain struggles with the mind, but you're not gross body and subtle body both. You are something much better than your gross and subtle body. So there was a nice seminar. One speaker gave the topic he chose was, "You're not your mind, but you're better than your mind. You're better than your mind." That means your soul. So if we can actually understand, acknowledge this knowledge, and and actually start functioning with this identity that how I'm not belonging. I'm not this mind. I'm not this gross body, not a subtle body, but actually I'm soul, which is very sacred, which has knowledge, which is eternal, which is having bliss. So when we identify ourselves and with our real position as soul, and we don't identify ourselves with mind and the subtle body and the gross body, it's a big relief. It's a big relief because then you can deal with your mind and body with much more better way, much more better ways. Yes, like sometimes the body defects may make us very depressed, but we know that it's only superficial defect on my body, but I'm better than this, and the body always it is always subjected to change also. It's not like eternally I have to wear this gross body also. And soul has much better capacity than opportunities and everything, right? Same way someone's mind may be not up to the mark. Somebody have got a mind which is more morose type or angry type or depressed type, but these are all superficial defects on the mind. It can be rectified, like that. So that's why it is so important slide to understand. Do you have any question or reflection on this?
Can you list the parts of the subtle body? I think you said that and I kind of didn't get it. So we're talking about the mind. What else? You said the subtle
Intelligence.
body.
Yeah.
What?
Mind, intelligence,
Yeah.
and false ego.
Mind, intelligence, and what?
False ego. I'll explain it. So false ego means misidentification. So false ego's function is to make the soul identify not with its real position as soul being spiritual, but thinking that I am this gross body and I am this mind, I am this intelligence. That is the function of false ego. The false ego makes us identify with something which is temporary. This is gross body and subtle body, basically mind and intelligence. So it's like a function on a functional basis. It is different. Actually, subtle body is one only. It's called antahkarana in Sanskrit. But based on the function, it is categorized. Like the subtle body, when it is used for discriminating the right, which is wrong, when there's a discrimination or being rational, so that kind of functioning is the function of intelligence. And mind is more about, it's like thinking, feeling, willing. It's more of emotions.
Mhm.
So,
All right,
so
thank
all,
you.
so yeah, likes and dislikes. So all that is actually the function of mind. So this subtle body, antakarana, subtle body, it actually functions as mind, functions as intelligence, and functions as false ego. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other question or reflection?
Sorry.
Okay. So let's move further. But Sapnil Babu, I wish you can join fast after your call. That'd be nice. Okay. So mechanism of mind. Okay, scientific proofs for existence of an antimaterial personality. So we have like 4 proofs here. Here you can see common sense, consciousness, near-death experience, out-of-body experience, and reincarnation research. If somebody passes away, somebody dies, we say he has passed away. Correct? Even the person is still lying, still they say he has passed away. So this common sense. That means the person is not the body, something different from body. That's how he has passed away. And I say this my watch, I say this my phone. We don't say I phone. We don't say I watch. Say my phone, my watch, my bottle. That means I am different from my watch, I am different from my bottle. Same way I say my hand, I say my leg, I say my body. So I am different from my body. I don't say I hand, I leg, I body. I am different from my body. I say my hand, my body. And you, when you cut a nail, then the nail goes to dustbin. You are not your nail, right? You are not your nail. You can understand it. Same way when you donate your blood to someone, it's not that you have gone to that person. No, you still exist as a separate person. That means you're not your blood also. You're not blood. You're not your nail. Correct? Someone's hand gets cut, unfortunately. Still the person continues to live. So he's not his hand also. Same way we are not our body. Body is only a vehicle. That's what it's common sense. We can understand that. Actually, the soul has passed. Now the next is, there is thinking, feeling, and willingness and intentions. So this is the symptom of there is a so consciousness is a symptom of soul. So any living personality you see, they have consciousness. That means they can think, they can feel, they have willingness, they have intentions. But any machine, it doesn't have all that. A machine may record, say, it's a camera, it may shoot particular drama, but it will never cry tears. The camera will not get any kind of emotional outburst or anything. But the people who are watching the drama, they may actually get deeply affected by the positive and negative scenes of the drama. That may be very much moving their hearts. So they have thinking, feeling, willingness, and intentions in the personality who are watching. But if it is only a machine, then they won't have. They can only record the data, but they cannot actually decode it with some thoughts and feelings and willingness and intention. That cannot happen. So there's a very clear difference between a living being, a living body, and the dead. So that is another thing to understand. The consciousness, that is another proof of the soul. Then there is near-death experience and out-of-body experience. Many Americans have actually experienced this. 11 to 14% of the average American population, they have had out-of-body experience. So what happened? Like once one person, he met an accident and he was in coma, half dead stage, and when the operation was going on, then later after the whole operation was done, then he was actually able to tell the doctors that what was the conversation, what they were doing, because he told, I could see myself separate from the body. Just like here you find the person hanging up, hanging above. He's seeing his own self. So same way, when that person who met accident and he could see himself separate from him, and he could even hear the conversation between the doctor and the nurses and everything. So it's called out of body experience. That means you can see your body different from you. So there are certain experiences of many people. So then there is called near-death experience also. So there are many books on this. If you want, you can just try to find out. There are many books talks about out-of-body experience and near-death experiences. Then Sir Einstein mentioned, he is a very famous scientist and he has done a lot of research, almost 2,000 cases of spontaneous reincarnation memories. So you can see there's so many books on reincarnation. And he also listed down certain phenomena like phobias, different phobia. Somebody has phobia of water, somebody has phobia of fire or some kind of sharp weapon. Sure, because in the previous life they had got certain kind of bad experience, some negative experience, it's an intense experience. This life they carry some kind of phobia, like somebody has got drowned in the water, then they have phobia of water. Somebody jumped out, somebody somehow was thrown from a cliff or committed suicide or something like that. Then they may have the phobia of height. Right? Now they're twins. The twins, they have same genetic material. If you see the twins, they have same genetic material, but still they have different temperaments, different moods, temperaments, thought process. That means the two souls have incarnated in the two bodies which are genetically same. Genetic material is same, but there are two souls present. So that also proves the science of, existence of soul, that soul must exist, because they're two different individuals, but they have taken up the bodies which have same genetic material. It's a nice, interesting kind of short documentary. You can watch it, and then we can have some reflection. Let me share the sound also later.
I can read the Japanese easy as pie.
I see him.
When he was about 3, he started to draw a lot. He started to sign some of those drawings James 3.
He would just be crying. He'd say, airplane crash on fire.
Don't really see
I
anything.
asked him, I said, why are you signing your name James 3? His response was, well, I'm the third James.
It's being called the case for reincarnation.
There you go.
This 7-year-old boy from Louisiana not only shares the same name as this World War II fighter pilot, they seem to share the same soul.
Initially, what caught my attention was James's extreme fascination with airplanes.
James Leininger's parents don't believe in past lives, but realized early on their son was unique.
I took him to the Kavanaugh Flight Museum. That every time we went to the area where the World War II aircraft were located, he would just stand there and point, mesmerized.
He was barely 2 years old. Here's home video. While the other youngsters viewed the bombers with a childlike curiosity, little James recognized the steely war machines with a certain familiarity and comfort.
Oh, there's a bomb on the bottom. He said, that's not a bomb, that's a drop tank.
That innocent trip to the museum would dramatically alter their lives and the lives of complete strangers forever.
He started having the nightmares, and that was my first indication that there was something wrong. The screaming was not like a normal child crying. It was a panic-stricken, terrorized screaming.
Over and over again, James had the same terrible nightmare, 4 to 5 times a week. He was too young to explain the dream, but he could draw.
he started doing these little drawings of airplanes shooting at other airplanes or being shot down. It's the only thing he still draws. Bombing ships, you see men parachuting. Here's another one where planes are dropping bombs. This is a carrier, and you can see where what he does is when he draws them, he starts with just a picture, and then he just starts drawing lines all over the place like he's playing out a movie.
I kept thinking, where is he getting this? What's he watching on television? But I was a stay-at-home mom, so I know that there wasn't anything that he was being exposed to.
Not exposed to in this life, but perhaps, just maybe, somebody else was. Decades earlier, another little boy named James grew up in South Bend, Indiana, with the same insatiable fascination with airplanes. He became a fighter pilot for the Navy and shipped off to fight in World War II. March 3, 1945, during a mission near Iwo Jima, he took a direct hit, was declared missing and presumed dead.
He would wake up in the middle of the night, he'd be laying on his back, kicking his feet up at the ceiling and screaming. It was almost like if you were laying on your back inside a box and you're trying to kick the lid off the box. When I would wake him up, he would just be crying. He'd say, "Airplane crash on fire, little man can't get out." He said that over and over, night after night.
What goes through your mind when your 2-year-old says things like that?
It freaked me out. It's like I can see in your face that it's startling and it's frightening.
I was alarmed by the frequency of the dreams or nightmares.
This was just the beginning. Nothing could prepare Andrea and Bruce Leininger for what James revealed next.
And I remember he laid on his back and he did the same motion like he did in the nightmares. He laid on his back and kicked up at the ceiling and he goes, "Mama, the little man's going like this." And he laid on his back and kicked his feet up. The little man's going, "Ooh, ooh, 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 can't get out." And I said, "Well, who's the little man, baby?" And he goes, "Me."
Okay, so you watched this video?
I
So-
didn't see the video. All I heard, I just heard it. I didn't see it.
I just heard it too.
Oh, really? You couldn't see that? Video?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
How did it happen? Really?
I think we got the gist from hearing it though.
Okay. You could hear it, but right?
Yeah.
Was that interesting?
Yes. My daughter, when she was a little kid, would see pictures of little black girls in books and be like, "Mama, that's me. That's me." She always would point to little black girls and say it was her. And she's that white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. So I'm pretty sure that she was black in her former life. I can see a picture now.
Okay, tell me now. Can you see the video now?
Hmm.
Can you see the video now?
Yes.
Yeah, now you can see it.
Maybe you can watch it again. It's interesting.
I can beat the Japanese easy as pie.
When he was about 3, he started to draw a lot. He started to sign some of those drawings James 3.
He would just be crying. He'd say, "Airplane crash on fire."
So one day I asked him, I said, "Why are you signing your name James 3? His response was, "Well, I'm the 3rd James."
It's being called the case for reincarnation. This 7-year-old boy from Louisiana not only shares the same name as this World War II fighter pilot, they seem to share the same soul.
Initially, what caught my attention was James's extreme fascination with airplanes.
James Leininger's parents don't believe in past lives, but realized early on their son was unique.
I took him to the Kavanaugh Flight Museum, that every time we went to the area where the World War II aircraft were located, he would just stand there and point, mesmerized.
He was barely 2 years old. Here's home video. While the other youngsters viewed the bombers with a childlike curiosity, little James recognized the steely war machines with a certain familiarity and comfort.
The pilot put them on?
I said, oh, look, there's a bomb on the bottom. He said, that's not a bomb, that's a drop tank.
That innocent trip to the museum would dramatically alter their lives and the lives of complete strangers forever.
He started having the nightmares, and that was my first indication that there was something wrong. The screaming was not like a normal child crying. It was a panic-stricken, terrorized screaming.
Over and over again, James had the same terrible nightmare, 4 to 5 times a week. He was too young to explain the dream, but he could draw.
He started doing these little drawings of airplanes shooting at other airplanes or being shot down. It's the only thing he still draws. Bombing ships, you see men parachuting. Here's another one where planes are dropping bombs. This is a carrier, and you can see where what he does is when he draws them, he starts with just a picture, and then he just starts drawing lines all over the place like he's playing out a movie.
I kept thinking, where is he getting this? What's he watching on television? But I was a stay-at-home mom, so I know that there wasn't anything that he was being exposed to.
Not exposed to in this life, but perhaps, just maybe, somebody else was. Decades earlier, another little boy named James grew up in South Bend, Indiana, with the same insatiable fascination with airplanes. He became a fighter pilot for the Navy and shipped off to fight in World War II. March 3, 1945, during a mission near Iwo Jima, he took a direct hit, was declared missing and presumed dead.
He would wake up in the middle of the night, he'd be laying on his back, kicking his feet up at the ceiling and screaming. It was almost like if you were laying on your back inside a box and you're trying to kick the lid off the box. When I would wake him up, he would just be crying. He'd say, airplane crash on fire, little man can't get out. He said that over and over, night after night.
What goes through your mind when your 2-year-old says things like that?
It freaked me out. It's like I can see in your face that it's startling and it's frightening.
I was alarmed by the frequency of the dreams or nightmares.
This was just the beginning. Nothing could prepare Andrea and Bruce Leininger for what James revealed next.
And I remember he laid on his back and he did the same motion like he did in the nightmares. He laid on his back and kicked up at the ceiling and he goes, Mama, the little man's going like this. And he laid on his back and kicked his feet up. The little man's going, ooh, 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 can't get out. And I said, well, who's the little man, baby? And he goes, me.
I hope now it must have made more sense to you. I mean, must have got more clarity about the whole thing, right? Yeah. So was that interesting?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your reflection on it?
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, I already believed in, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything else to say.
Okay, I already believed in past lives. So it was interesting, but yeah, I already believed. I think I don't know if you heard me, but my daughter used to point at the pictures of little black girls and say it was her. So I already was like, okay, yeah, she was black in her last life.
Does she talk about that now? I mean,
No, it
No?
went away. No.
Did
Just
you
when she
ever
was
tell her? Do you ever
I'm
say,
sorry?
hey? Did you ever tell her that? Do you ever talk about it? Do you ever say, hey, when you were a little girl, you used to do this?
Yeah, she just laughs. She thinks it's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay.
Yeah, she forgot about it as she got older. So, oops, time to feed my cats. Okay, I can wait.
Okay, so I think now time is up. We have
I'm
still
sorry I was so late and made everybody late and stuff like that.
I mean, it's okay. So should we continue? I think we can stop. Maybe we can continue later. What do you say?
Okay.
Because
Are we at some point going to go over the beginning part when he's talking about not wanting to fight his family?
Not wanting to?
Not wanting to fight his family, the despondency of Arjuna. Are
Oh,
we
okay,
go over
okay.
that at some
Yes,
point?
yes,
Some
yes,
point,
yes,
will we
yes,
go over
yes.
that? Okay.
Yeah, we are going to discuss all that. Yes. So,
Okay.
yeah, okay, okay. Let me just tell you. I'm just trying to introduce the concept first. You know, the concepts of the important concepts of Bhagavad Gita. Then we'll come to those vital, the storylines and the situation of Arjuna and all that. We're going to have that eventually.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, we're going to have that. So, yeah, please continue attending the sessions. You'll have a great journey and you'll be able to understand Bhagavad Gita in depth.
Okay.
So, just like before teaching you the mathematics, first we teach you the formulas, we teach you the concepts, and then we actually get into the solving the problems, real life problems. So, same way, after you understand the concepts well, then when you read the Bhagavad Gita verses, it becomes so clear. This
Okay,
how,
thank you.
yeah, there's the logic behind what we are doing right now. We are still left with some, the slides. So, yeah, but I think I will be doing it later. I think I should hurry up with anything. But there's some very interesting thing coming up. Very, very interesting things coming up. Just to give you some glimpse of it. If you see here, how our mind works, no? The intelligence and senses in the mind, how they work. I mean, very interesting. And how we can control our mind, how we can make use of our intelligence and control the mind and senses. Mind is stored of thoughts and unfulfilled desires, previous experiences, all that. So, yeah, we are going to have some nice discussion on that. So I think let us keep all these things for the next session. How we can change conditioning by changing scripts written in our minds. We'll talk about all that next session. Okay, so yes, so yeah, I think we'll be able to complete the entire session next time. Maybe we can have more reflection and questions next session, or we can start the second session maybe also after completing the remaining portion of the current session. Yeah. So fine. So we are done with the day. Okay. So would you be able to join in time next time, both of you, so that we can have good 1 hour?
Yes, yes, I will. I just really messed up.
Okay. So we hope all of us come in time so we can have like 1 hour full session and we can
Yes.
cover a lot of content like that. Okay. So hope you enjoyed today's session.
I did.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.